Sometimes you don't need to build a better mousetrap or reinvent the wheel. Just use a familiar, tried and true standby in an unfamiliar way to trigger spectacular results.
And what am I using to get these fish? I'm jigging. But guess what I'm jigging? It's one of the all-time greatest jigs ever made for ice fishing. The Jigging Rapala. And this sucker is not only for hard water. In many conditions, it's a killer in soft water too. And I'm talking the middle of summer, baby. It's always fun to do something that's really different. And those of you that really, truly like to jig fish, you know, this is the cat's meow, boy. And I know for a lot of you walleye anglers, you hardcore walleye anglers that are summer riggers and spinner fishermen or plug pullers, it's hard to believe that you can sit here with an ice jig like a Jigging Rapala in the middle of summer and get on schools of fish and catch fish. But I guarantee you, if you're a deep water fisherman, say, let's say about 18 feet and down, and you got fish in those zones, you gotta try this. You gotta try it. You know, and sometimes you'll just pop it and that thing flies off the bottom in many different directions, and that's what's triggering those fish. See my bait here? See my bait? Falling right there, that's it. That you could see it just falling right off. That was my bait, just jigging up and down. And when you get into the fish, you'll see it, you'll just see it. I'm just bouncing it along on the bottom.
Here's a few key points to keep in mind about jigging a Rapala in open water. From my experience, they've worked best on sand or gravel bottoms. In snaggy rocks, however, you'll kiss your jigging Raps goodbye. You don't have to fish a jigging Rap vertically like you do through the ice. In fact, I've done best with the bait out away from the boat at about a 60-degree angle. And I just sweep the bait forward 2 to 4 foot at a time, and then I just let it nosedive back to the bottom. You can even cast one out and retrieve it down a drop-off as long as the area is pretty snag-free. It's a lot more versatile than most people think.
Okay, Mr. Walleye. Here. They are flat getting on that thing. It is a reaction bite. Look at that. Look at that bait. Can you see it down there? I mean, she just gobbled. Absolutely gobbled that thing.
You can't get walleyes to react to a triggering bait all the time, but when they do, you better hold on.
Let me show you something. When you're doing this, you need to have a little barrel swivel on there to eliminate line twist. All you need is a foot of it, that's it. Yeah, you know, 12, 15, 18 inches is plenty sufficient. Otherwise, you're gonna have some line twisting. And that ain't a good thing. You get to the bottom instantly with this thing. There's nothing to get the bait to the bottom. You know, it's a small, compact bait and it's pretty heavy. They got a variety of different sizes, naturally. This is one of the most enjoyable ways that I've seen in a long, long, long time to catch walleyes. And it is so different. If you're an ice fisherman, it isn't different to you. Oh yeah, she's a little better one here. Got a back reel a little bit here. But what is different is you're not fishing it in the ice, you're fishing it in open water and whacking nice walleyes. Hey, you're looking for something a little bit different that most people are never doing, and it is deadly on many bodies of water. It's getting Jigging Rapalas, ice jigging, and adapting them to open water conditions. What it does is trigger fish, and it triggers fish to respond to that erratic action. When going through with a live bait rig and a night crawler and a leech like most people are doing on this body of water, they're catching an occasional fish. You take that Jigging Rap in the middle of summer on the same schools of fish, and you can see results like this, baby.